and welcome to my channel. Amanda Shushma here, and today we are stress baking. For me, it's Tuesday night, and I've just had a stressful day from work, from world events, from life, and usually, I would just cry about it. But today, we're gonna be productive. I stress cleaned my entire apartment. Now I feel actually good. So it's a little bit of stress baking and a little bit of fun. And I wanted to talk about ACOTAR with my girlies. A friend of mine got me obsessed with it. And I didn't realize there were 4 to 5 books. I can't remember. If you're planning on reading it and you don't want spoilers, you might just want to click off because I want to talk a little bit about it. Currently, I'm in the Wings and Ruin book, kind of in the middle. I listened to it in an audiobook, so that's why I'm not sure. I believe it's in the middle. Before we hop into talking about that, we are making some banana bread today, and I'll link the Pinterest recipe I have for this below. Heads up, some people hate this, but I love it. I've made this recipe before. This contains mayo, okay? Okay, what do you think mayo is? It's normal. Okay, it's fine. It tastes really good. It's moisturizing. And also, you want to make sure your bananas you're using for this are close to being, almost spoiled, like really, really ripe. So they're kind of like that soft, mushy texture. First thing we're going to do is mash up the bananas in this bowl. So let's start from a little bit of the first book. I will say my favorite so far is Mist and Fury. And from what I've seen, a lot of people really love Mist and Fury because obviously Farah and Reese, that's their get-together book, which I loved. So when I first started it, I didn't know it was enemies to lovers. I just thought Tamlin was the lover, and he was slightly an enemy a little bit in the beginning, but not really. But I will say, so the part where, at first I was like, oh, okay, he's her guy, whatever. But then that part where Reese came and he saw her, and then he made, the second time, and he made Tamlin beg, and Tamlin, got down on his knees and begged and whatever. I was like, no, there's no way this guy is our main character, our male main character. No, I refuse to accept that. And so after that, I just lost major respect, and I was like, I'll just keep reading to see what happens in the story. And thank God I was not disappointed. And I am mashing this with a fork, by the way. But yeah, and then obviously I think a lot of people, when Tamlin just sat on the throne and literally did nothing, figure it out. You know who I see as Tamlin? Who's that guy that played Thor? Chris Hemsworth. He would be a good Tamlin. I don't know if it's too typecasting, long blonde hair, medieval vibes. Chris Hemsworth would be a good Tamlin. And now we're adding in the mayo, which mine, you can't really see it, but mine is so much grosser because I have the squeezy tube bottle, so it did little intestine looking lines. Anyway, don't get grossed out by the mayo. It makes it delicious and moist, okay? I promise. Adding in the egg now, but my fan cast for Reese, I don't have a particular actor I'm thinking of, but I know this is impossible because I've seen the normal fan cast for Reese, and it's that guy with dark hair. He's super hot, attractive, but in my head it's Siddharth Malhotra, and hold on, he's a Bollywood actor. He's not too well known in the States, but there's this picture, and he's just giving Reese teaching Farah how to read, and I'm obsessed with it. And I know that probably would never happen unless India made their own version of it. But in my head, he's Reese. But I do see the fan cast guy who, I don't know, he's AI generated. I don't know who made him. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. What do you guys think? Because I've been seeing people argue about this all the time. I think Hulu owns ACOTAR, they own all the rights to it, and it was in production, but they stopped it, I think, because of COVID or something. I can't remember exactly, or the writer's strike. There was a reason they stopped it. People online have been arguing, should they make it into a live action? Should they make it into an animated series? Should they make it into an anime? Personally, I love a good anime, but I think an animated series would be really cool and get more people involved and want to see it. Kind of like Avatar. I don't know, I consider Avatar an anime, but then I know some people are just no, it's a cartoon, whatever. But I think they could do a lot with having it just illustrated and drawn out and stuff. I think that would be really cool. But then I'm also I remember the Twilight era and going with your friends to see every single movie in theaters. So putting, like, it's because Hulu owns it. So that's the problem, because it would have to be on Hulu. But like, if they made a movie for every single book, that would be super cool, or something along the lines of that. If there's some way they could make it into like a huge theater moment, and they like marketed it well, and cast the right actors and stuff, they might have another like Twilight like saga marketing, like endless marketing thing on their hands. But who knows if they can play that well, because there's so many fans, and I'm new to it. I recently got into it like maybe middle of this year, and I know people have been all over this for years, and it's just gaining more and more and more popularity. Have you guys seen the AIs, the TikTok AIs of every court and all of that? It's so beautiful. So that's the one problem with live action. Can they make it as we expect? Definitely expectations versus reality. So we'll see. And the actor who plays Tamlin, good luck to you. So I just put in all the dry ingredients, so we're gonna mix that up. And FYI, please check out the Pinterest recipe. Do not follow what I'm doing, because I am just going with my own flow and generally following the recipe. Okay. So who is your fan cast for Miss Farah? Because I have been loving seeing people fan cast Barbara Palvin as her, because she just has like that beautiful look, but I could see her like as a warrior. I can see her in like the fighting leathers and all that stuff. I think she would, quite frankly, slay being Farah, but I don't think she acts. She's a model, right? Maybe she acts. I don't know. Maybe her husband could give her a few acting lessons and then she could be our Farah. But I like her vibe for Farah. I also think Hannah Dodd, who played Francesca in Bridgerton, she would be a really good Farah. People were casting her as Elaine, and I understand why, because the Francesca character is so beautiful and doe-eyed, and she would also be a really great Elaine. But I could see her be a really good Farah as well. But Nesta, I don't know who I would like cast as Nesta. Like, to be beautiful, cold, almost like a hawk in my head. That's one I can't really think of right now. Who would you cast as Nesta? You know what I just realized? This thing takes 60 to 70 minutes to bake. Love that. So that's when they're baking. Let's talk about War and Ruin, because that's where I'm at. I'm at the part, if you haven't read that or you don't want spoilers, get out. I'm at the part where Elaine and Nesta have already killed Hybern, and Farah and Rhys are at the cauldron, so that's kind of the area I'm at right now. Let's talk about the High Lords meeting, because I had so much secondhand embarrassment from Tamlin being like, oh, does she make that sound with you, or whatever the hell he said. That was so freaking rude. I had to stop the audio at that point and be like, okay, let's take a break. I got secondhand embarrassment. Let me, do a lap. That was the level of petty he should have given Amarantha when he was sitting next to her. That meeting was a mess, and I am here for the drama. And then Farah attacking Baron with all the powers. I mean, that was pretty epic. That's something we need to see in a movie or something like that. Besides Rhys, who is your favorite High Lord? I think I'm gonna go with Tarquin. I feel like they slighted him. He's like a good guy. He means well, and he, came to the meeting. He helped fight and all that. He's a good friend. And the thing is, would he really have not helped out if Rhys hadn't asked? It just seemed like in Mist and Fury, when they were trying to retrieve the book, or I think it was the book at that point they were trying to get right, he just seemed like such a friendly guy. He's a young High Lord, and he wanted like alliances, be friends. Like, would he have not helped? Like, I feel like he would have helped them. I don't know. But I like him. I think he's like a sweet High Lord. You know what I mean? And then Helion is, what's the word? Trey, not je ne sais quoi. What's the word for Trey? I know you know what I'm trying to think of. Trey. Oh, menage a trois. Menage a trois. I'm an idiot. I honestly did not expect that like chapter to come through, because a menage a trois, and was it Cassian and more who were sitting there? I think so. That was just an interesting little tidbit. And the fact that he's Lucian's dad and Farah, after all these guys have been alive for like 500 years, Farah is the only one to put two and two together. Like, she's like, oh, they have like the same nose. And Reese is like, oh my god, you're right. Reese is the most powerful High Lord, but they never said anything about him being the most observant, I guess. Honestly, the first book, I wasn't like I liked Farah, but she was a little bit annoying at times because she would do the exact opposite of what you're supposed to do. But now at this point, I really like her. I'm getting more of a feel for her character and everything, and I just love that she wants to be in on all the hot goss. She wants to play matchmaker. And Reese is also kind of a nosy queen because like there was that part, like they were still in Valaris right before they had to leave for the High Lords meeting. Farah and Reese are winnowing in the process, and then they see Nesta and Cassian have a little chat, and then she's like, seems like Reese slowed down his winnowing, and they're just being so nosy. And I was like, honestly, I get it, and you guys are vibing so well as a couple right now. Congratulations. And at the start of Wings in Ruin, I was just not a fan of Nesta. I feel like she was so rude to Farah, and it's like, you should thank her for everything that she did for you guys. Anyway, that's like, you know, all in the past, whatever. And she was still rude as a fae, and she was like, you don't even know what I've been through. And Farah, like, literally not only had to take care of her family, but she got taken and then had to rescue all these fae and fight. I just did not like the beginning, and I'm slowly... I think it's just the romance aspect between her and Cassian that's making me like her more. So I like Cassian. So because of his interactions with Nesta, I'm starting to like her a little bit more, but I need to see more. People were telling me I'll learn more about her in Silver Flames, so I'm just gonna hold off until I get to her book, I guess. I really love Mor, and I love her and Farah's relationship. Mor is actually like a sister to Farah, and I love just seeing their relationship blossom. And they had their fight where Farah lied to her to... Oh! Trauma, I just remembered. The cereal. So obviously with TikTok, Instagram, and algorithms, I've been getting spoilers, so I know a few things, but the one thing I didn't know was that the cereal died. That hit hard. I was hoping that, you know, when she went back to go get him, I thought she would be able to winnow him to like the training camp and they could heal him, and then he could be like another secret weapon in the war or something. But I can't believe he died. I'm so sad about that. I was like in shock when I read that, when I heard it. I just licked the leftovers of the Mexican bowl, and now I'm hyped up on sugar. So I lost my train of thought, but I need to know, have any of you been to those like ACOTAR? Am I saying that right? ACOTAR? Anyway, you know the balls they have in our life, like in real life, the like fairy balls, the ACOTAR balls. Have any of you guys been to those? I love seeing all the like cosplay fairy people dress up and go to that. You know, it's almost like a Bridgerton looking ball, but like darker and more mystical and mysterious, and it just looks so fun. I'm so curious about that. And then which court would you dress up like you're from? Obviously, we all want to dress up in night court outfits. They are the main court that we love. Duh. If you don't follow me on TikTok, I did those filters where you can see what court you're from, and then I was like, where are the brown people from? And they were like Summer, and I was like, Tarquin. It's meant to be. It's meant to be. So I would dress up as Summer Court, and speaking of Summer Court, I do ship Amryn and Varian is his name, I think. I do ship them. Oh, another fan cast. One more. Jurian, I see him as Adam Brody. Come on. That would be iconic. Alrighty, guys, so it's been about an hour. Check it out. I already did the toothpick test, so we are all good. But look, it's so nice and moist looking because of the mayo. Thank you very much. So I just cut myself off a piece, and it's looking perfect and moist. And it is a little bit hot, but YOLO. If my mate came, let's just say, I would make this banana bread. 10 out of 10. I did kind of switch up the recipe. I added vanilla extract and cinnamon, and then that recipe calls for pecans, but I don't have any, so I just kind of made it plain. You can also add chocolate chips. I've done that. So good. Thank you so much for listening to my random ramblings of ACOTAR. Next time I'll make sure to keep it maybe more organized for you, but I hope you guys enjoy this video and definitely subscribe to see more from me. Bye!